Friday, August 7. It's about 10 to 6. Just showed up. Want to see if anything's going on for graduation tonight. Saw one Sea Org lady in the parking lot. Parking lot looks pretty dead. See a few people walking around behind there. Not too good from this view though. So we got the curtain going up already. How come David Miscavige doesn't talk about St. Hill size orgs anymore? Now all he talks about is ideal orgs. I thought to release OT 9 and 10, the orgs need to be St. Hill size. Now it's all about ideal orgs instead. Huh. Probably shouldn't talk about that. Jamie, how come David Miscavige doesn't talk about St. Hill size orgs anymore? At the last birthday event, he didn't even utter the word St. Hill size. Now all he talks about is ideal orgs. I think that's not keeping Scientology working the way L. Ron Hubbard wanted. Hi, Mark. Hey, Mark, how come management doesn't talk about St. Hill size orgs? Hey, Mark. How come management doesn't talk about St. Hill size orgs anymore? Now it's all about ideal orgs. I thought in order to release OT 9 and 10, all orgs have to be St. Hill size, but now you don't have that. You have ideal orgs. So to release OT 9 and 10, all orgs have to be St. Hill size, right? But now David Miscavige doesn't want to talk about it, so what happens now? It's all about ideal orgs and fancy buildings and lots of money. What's up with that? How do you release OT 9 and 10 now when it's all about fancy buildings that are empty? Do you see how ironic it all is? Hi, Ray.
Hey.
Hey, remember in 1991 when David Miscavige released all the basic books? Really? You're not supposed to remember it, so I guess it's good job on his part. But yeah, they came out in 1991, all of them. They were verified as on source, and now they're coming back out again as the basics. What's up with that? Yeah, all the basic books came out in 91 too, just so you know. All verified as on source, and David Miscavige checked them all himself. So he's either lying then or he's lying now. Take your pick. Hey, how's it going? How come David Miscavige doesn't talk about St. Hill size orgs anymore? Isn't that part of the birthday game? To release OT 9 and 10? Nobody wants to talk about it. How you doing, sir? How are you tonight? Can you talk about Scientology with me real quick?
No.
Really? Is that a sign of becoming more able or less able? I'm just curious. More free or less free? Hi, Yvonne. How are you? Are you here for a visit or what? Wow, nice to see you again. How you doing, sir? Dave Miscavige doesn't talk about the St. Hill size orgs anymore. Isn't that part of the birthday game?
Yeah.
Say, how come Dave Miscavige doesn't talk about St. Hill size orgs anymore? That's part of the birthday game, right? The way L. Ron Hubbard intended? Hi, how are you?
Good.
Have you talked to your daughter in a long time? Is she still on the Freewinds? Have you?
My daughter?
Yeah.
Oh, Dad.
Who are you?
I'm Brian Mandigo. I used to work here. You don't remember me?
Dad.
Yeah, what?
Stop talking.
What? Okay.
On what?
So what do you
I think you should be worried about your daughter because a lot of awful things go on at the level of the Sea Organization. Have you heard about the high-level defectors that?
That's okay. I just want to talk to the guy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Have you heard about the high-level defectors that left recently? There was 15 of them, including Rinder and Rathbun, the guys that we used to know, well, that I used to know when I was in. They're telling their stories about what goes on in the Sea Org, and it's an awful thing, especially at Golden Era Productions. And if your daughter's on the Freewinds, I mean, she can't even run away. So that's why I would call her and see how she's doing.
Do you know anything about OT 7?
I know some.
What do you know? I'm on OT 7.
Okay.
I know exactly what's going on at OT 7. I'm
Okay.
auditing on OT 7.
All right.
I'm getting the results of OT 7.
Okay.
Do you know what that is all about?
Yeah, you
Why don't
audit
spend your time to find
body
a little bit
things.
more about that?
You audit body things.
Whatever it
I'm
is,
concerned
why don't you
about.
spend
I'm
some time
concerned
about that?
because I'm
Why don't
concerned
you
about
just
people.
Stop doing what you're doing and find out a little bit more what happened with whatever you were doing. Find out what the hell happened instead of basically doing all that kind of shit.
Do you remember when John Boucher was a member here and he killed himself?
Come on, man, wake up.
You don't want to talk about that when John Boucher killed himself here? They kept that pretty hush-hush, didn't they? Right, Ray? Do you remember John Boucher? He hung himself? How's it going, man? How come no one talks about St. Hill sized orgs anymore? That's how you win the birthday game, right? Dave Miscavige doesn't want to play anymore? So, such a dramatic conversation, the curtain tech has failed. This space is clearly inturbulated. I think that's NMEST. Apathy. Hi, Claire. Remember when it used to be all about St. Hill-sized orgs? Isn't that how we're going to release OT 9 and 10? Now David just wants to talk about fancy messed buildings, ideal orgs. What happened with that? Hi, Miriam. How's it going? You know your husband teamed up with Kim Bellotti, went through my PC folder and started talking about stuff out here, right? I still like you guys a lot. Miss you. Something to you. Something that you don't have, you're not privy to. Don't sound so excited. So, Philadelphia Doctor Course, tape number 20. Here's what you don't get to hear. It's a very simple remedy, and that's just make sure that the remedy is passed along. That's all. Don't hoard it, don't hold it, and if you ever do use any black Dianetics, use it on the guy who pulled Scientology out of sight and made it so it wasn't available. Because he's the boy who would be electing himself the new order. And we
call the police and say that you're an annoyance. I don't want to hear you.
Okay, but it's just one last sentence. And we don't need any more new orders. All those orders, as far as I'm concerned, have been filled.
Okay, here we go.
Hi, Tom. So why doesn't David Miscavige talk about St. Hill-sized orgs anymore? He didn't even utter those words at the birthday game, or at the LRA's birthday event this year. Whenever you want to have a comm cycle, let me know. Ruh-roh. So there is some sort of event going on. They've got a big screen in the back. Wow, a lot of people. Perhaps I'm wrong about this whole thing of Scientology declining and not expanding. Hey, what's up? Wow. Joan Gambino hanging up the curtain. I don't think I've ever seen Sea Org hang it up before. Take that as an upstat. You'll have to wait a minute, sir. They're putting up the curtains to total freedom. You'll have to wait just a minute. It's an important step on the bridge. Hey, how's it going? Did you notice that Dave Miscavige doesn't talk about St. Hill-sized orgs anymore? That's integral to the birthday game, isn't it? That's how we're going to release OT 9 and 10, right? You're very beautiful. Hi. Why doesn't Dave Miscavige talk about the St. Hill-sized orgs anymore? That's how OT 9 and 10 are going to be released, I thought. Now it's all about ideal orgs. How you doing, man? It's not your fault, you know, that the org is empty. When you have a leader who squirrels the tech and beats up people, it makes it very hard to maintain any sort of membership. It's not your fault, you know, that the org is empty. David Miscavige is corrupt and criminal. That's why no one sticks around. Everything's so messed up. Here's what David Miscavige said in the 1987 RTC Executive Directive. All Dianetics and Scientology books were reviewed, gotten fully on source, and issued. Then they came out in 1991. So I wonder if he's lying then or lying now or both. Okay, the Success Through Communication course. Can you communicate about Scientology with me real quick? Do you have to graduate first, or can you talk now? Alright, so it's about 7:45. I think the event, whatever the event is, I guess it's graduation. They got a screen down. It's probably started. No one's here. The parking lot's practically empty. And yet they're almost ready to move into a huge building, though they have not enough people to fill this one up. So there you go.